Welcome back, everybody. I hope you guys are all doing well. My name is Tank. Today we are talking about what's going on in the crypto market. I'll be giving you guys my 2 cents about where we are in the market as well as where we might be going in the short to near future. We are currently trading Bitcoin for $42,226. We are trying to make a comeback and get ourselves out of this hole that China has put us in. Now, if you guys don't know what's going on, I say China has put us in a hole because they did. It is futures closed today. We are not only closing the month, but we are closing the week. We usually have strong resistance, strong selling pressure when it comes to futures closing and doubling up on us like it is right now. On top of that, China just recently came out last night and flooded the market yet again, letting everybody be reminded that cryptocurrency is illegal in their country. It's nothing new, so I have no idea why the market's reacting the way it is currently reacting with this FUD. And I am saying it's FUD because I do have my opinions about what's currently happening with China, and I'll get to that here in just a little bit. But basically, they're scaring people to death, scaring people out of their positions, just reminding people of old news that, cryptocurrency is banned and they don't like cryptocurrency. They don't want their people to have any sort of freedom in their country. They want to control everything that happens in that country. So they're just reminding everybody that they do not like cryptocurrency and they're banning it. They have banned it. It is illegal in their country. And anybody that partakes in it will possibly be dealt with. Again, nothing new. We've seen this a million times now. I have no idea why people are freaking out about it. Just because one social media content creator or provider puts out a repost of what China just said a million times before doesn't mean you guys should be freaking out. I have my opinion about it. I'm going to go ahead and share it to you guys since we're talking about it right now. I do think you guys are being played. I think that the Chinese government is weaponizing Bitcoin and the rest of cryptocurrency. You got to be kidding me if you think that they don't have a whole bunch of Bitcoin in their treasury, a whole lot of other cryptocurrencies in their treasury. You got to be nuts if you think that they're not using it to wage war economically against the world, because they do want to be the superpower of the world. They do want their currency to be the standard of the world. They are trying to weaponize cryptocurrency and they are flooding the market, shaking you guys out of positions, and you guys are selling into it. You guys should never sell into fear. You guys should be buying into fear. That's not financial advice, but there's a saying that goes, when people are fearful, that's when you should be greedy. And when people are greedy, that's when you should be fearful. Think about what you're doing before you react to a narrative that is an old piece of narrative. It's old news. It's old news. No joke, China don't like cryptocurrency. It's a form of freedom. Why would you guys be selling into it? Again, think about it. Do you really think China doesn't have a whole bunch of Bitcoin, a whole bunch of Ethereum, a whole bunch of these other cryptocurrency assets? They have a whole bunch of gold too. They are trying to become the superpower of the world, the undisputed superpower of the world. And since we are playing ourselves here in the Western world and being shook, they're taking advantage of us. They had the spotlight just put on them. They had to react in this manner. Think about it. With Evergrande or Evergrande, however you want to call it, and their economy being shown to be put on stilts as far as their housing market goes, which goes along with everything else there. They were put on the spot, so they had to take a strong position. They had to show you guys or flex in front of you guys, and you guys are flinching. You guys are doing a classical flinch. I could be 100% wrong. This could just be futures closing and, being the weekly close, the monthly close, and everything else. But I highly doubt that. Why else would they just, by chance, put out a random tweet letting everybody else know not to partake in cryptocurrency if you're in their country? Why else? Why so perfectly timed on the day that futures closes? Think about it. You guys have to start thinking about it before you guys just react to this FUD, to this narrative. China also has a whole bunch of real estate being bought up here in the States. If you guys don't believe me, do your homework. The Chinese government is buying up loads of real estate here in the States. They are also trying to control all the real estate in their country. Why do you think they can't buy speculative real estate transactions anymore there? Why do you think they banned that? Why do you think they banned that? They're trying to gather up everything that is scarce. Land, gold, Bitcoin. Do not think that you're not being shook right now. Stop being shook. Do your homework. Nothing has changed technically for Bitcoin. Technically, it's doing great. Nothing's wrong with Bitcoin. That whole mining FUD about hurting the environment, that's gone now. We've dealt with that. What else you guys got? What else? You're being shook. You're just being played. That's my honest opinion. If you guys sell into this dip, you guys sell all your positions, you guys are being played. Now, again, not financial advice. That's just my opinion. You guys are being played. Now, let's go back to the TA, what's in front of us and what we're dealing with currently, because that's really all that matters. And by really, that's just my opinion. And it really doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things. I could tell you guys the truth till I'm blue in the face, but it doesn't really matter unless the charts react to the truth. And if people just want to be fearful, people want to believe what they want to believe, and people want to be over leveraged and do what they want to do, it's going to play out the way it's going to play out no matter what we do. We have to remain in control. So right now on the charts, I'm going to show you guys my unbiased opinion about both scenarios, about the bullish scenario, about the bearish scenario, the things we need to do and the things we need to avoid in order for us to see higher price points. So same thing like the other few videos that I just made. We are still within this gaping section of the VPBR wall in the 4-hour time frame. Not a good place. I called it the dead zone. It's illustrated here with this transparent box. Just like we did previously, we need to make another move back up to $44,000, $44,500 preferably. Use that as a daily close for Bitcoin's price, and then treat it as a springboard of support to start making stair-stepping movements, slow and steady stair-stepping movements to the upside, because that would show us slow and steady growth, healthy growth coming from Bitcoin's chart, more sustainable, more maintainable growth. And that is the most ideal case scenario that we could possibly hope for going forward. Now, the bearish thing that we need to avoid is closing below $41,000 on a daily candle. We cannot close below that, and that's basically right below where we are right now. If we do close at $41,000 price on a daily candle, the likelihood of us breaking down even further gets higher and higher. And if we break down further and further, look, there's nothing down here on the VPVR wall that's going to catch us until we get to right around $33,000. That's not a good look, guys. I would just go ahead and call it at that moment. If we start dipping down, we'll dip down really, really quickly, probably bounce at $33,000 and hang out there. But then the likelihood of us making another rally gets smaller and smaller. So again, just things that we need to do to accomplish and remain bullish in this cycle, and then things we need to avoid going forward. Again, I do have my suspicions about what's currently happening. I do have my opinions, but keep in mind that they are just opinions, and really none of that really matters unless people believe it and people do their own homework and agree with that. If you find with being shook, then be shook. But, you got to be aware of the truth of what's happening in the markets. There's nothing technically going on that's bearish for Bitcoin. Fundamentally, in other parts of the world that do not care about you, there's a lot of bearish things and a lot of FUD that they're putting out there in the market. You can agree to disagree with it, or you can agree to agree with it. It's up to you. But we are making a rounded turtle shell. I don't like that. We need to negate it and start making moves to the upside so that that roundness stops. I'd like to see that happen, but I'm being honest with you. And I told you guys I would always be unbiased when it comes to my TA. We are making a rounded shell. And if we just zoom out on the daily time frame, let me take away this VPVR wall right here. Whenever we make rounded movements on Bitcoin's chart, like we did here, it usually ends up pretty bad for us. We made rounded movements right here. It looks pretty bad. If we're making jaggedy movements like this, it looks a lot different. But whenever you make rounded movements, it usually plays out pretty bad. So again, I don't really like what I'm seeing right now. As you guys can see, we're making a rounded movement again. We need to negate that and start making a move to the upside fairly quickly. And I do suspect that towards the end of this week, if we can just get through this week, and I mean by Sunday, Monday, Tuesday even, when we get through those time frames, if we can just stop selling into the fear, we will get through this. Think about it. Statistically, historically, this month has always been a bad month for crypto. On top of that, we have a double whammy when it comes to futures closing or options closing. We have the weekly, we have the monthly. And then on top of that, we just so happen to have an ironically timed or well-placed tweet or narrative coming out from China, letting everybody know yet again that cryptocurrency is bad and it's illegal. Big deal. Big deal, guys. Think about the big picture. I'm accumulating on dips, not financial advice, just letting you guys know I buy into fear. If you guys are fearful, you guys are just selling into people who are more patient like myself. Think about it. Not financial advice. I hope you guys are doing well. I hope you guys are not over leveraged. I hope you guys are making money. Please do me a favor, subscribe to the channel. I actually have a giveaway happening on this channel where I'm giving away a 50-inch flat screen TV to one lucky subscriber once we hit 1,000 subs. So do me a favor, help me try to reach more people here on YouTube. Peace.